Hello everyone, it is time for our monthly paper pumpkin video. We are going to make the June 2026 paper pumpkin, Bikes and Blooms. It's super cute, I love it. If you are not familiar with paper pumpkin, it's a kit you can get every month. Comes in this cute box, has everything you need. The only thing you might want to have on hand is a pair of scissors, but other than that, everything is included in the kit. Your first kit, if you do a subscription, will come with a block that you can use. I have preloaded mine onto blocks I already have, so I'm not changing them out while I'm doing the video. But let's get started. We are going to make these 3 cute bicycle cards, and then I always have a bonus card for everybody on my team that gets paper pumpkin, or any customers that get paper pumpkin from me, and I send them a little kit to make a bonus card, so I'll show you that at the end. But this is our first card. Isn't that fun? And it has little butterflies. I love butterflies. So let's get our pieces out. There's my twine. I don't want to lose that. Here's all our little pieces. I'm going to have this card handy just so I can look at it. You do want this dark to be at the bottom. That's kind of the grass that the bicycle is on. We're going to stamp on that, and let me grab my Stampin' Pierce map. It makes it easier to see, and it also gives it the extra cushion when I'm using photopolymer stamps. Now your kit comes with an ink spot. This is Calypso Coral. I usually just use my full-size ink pads, and I save those spots in case I'm going to put them in a little gift. Okay, let's see what we need. Have a lovely day. I have them all loaded up. I just have to find the right stamps. Have a lovely day, and then the flowers. Here we go. And you do have an extra one of these, so if you don't get it lined up, you've got one extra that you can use. They usually do that with stuff you stamp on like this. They'll give you one extra one. We'll see how I do since I'm not right over my, not too bad. And if it's not perfect, it's still fine. All right, and have a lovely day. I'm just going to stamp that in the middle of this. All right, and that's all our stamping for the first one. So I'm going to put this ink pad away so I don't make a mess. Now they show you on your directions, they show you what you're stamping, but then they also show you all of the adhesive that you need to put on. So these little dark dots are the glue dots. Let me get my adhesive out of its little baggie. So those black dots are these glue dots, and then the open ones are these mini dimensionals. And I like to use my Take Your Pick tool for my glue dots. So what are the glue dots going on? They are just going on the back of our sentiment in the middle. So we just need 3 of them. Just right down the middle of this. And then I believe everything else uses, oops, dimensionals. Excuse me. So let's set that aside. All right, so we have this. And they'll show you where to put the dimensionals too. So there we go. Sometimes it's not critical, but sometimes if it's layering on something else, you do need to kind of pay attention and put them where they tell you to. This one's not as critical, but it still makes sense to spread them out. All right, so that guy's got glue dots, and then this piece gets 3 glue dots, just in the middle. Let go. All right. And then our bicycle piece, so our big bicycle piece, gets lots of glue dots. probably should have put some of these on beforehand. Oh well. That will give you time to put them on too if you're crafting along with me. Yeah, I'm glad that I have light down here now. We had lightning hit very close to our house. It hit something on the back deck, caused all sorts of problems. Flipped some breakers, which those we were able to flip back, but we still lost our stovetop. It fried that. Garage doors are not working. Air conditioner upstairs is not working. Down here, the lights were very dim. Turns out they just needed new light bulbs. That surge can actually make your light bulbs just go dim. Not completely burn them out, but just make them go dim. So luckily we just put new light bulbs in, and now I have light down here. Okay, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing too. There are a lot of dimensionals on this guy. We were not home when it happened, which I'm kind of glad, because it would have happened right behind where I usually sit. So it probably would have really scared me to have that hit right behind me. And we're just thankful that the house didn't catch on fire, especially with us not being home. It's stuff that we can get fixed. All right. Hey, Betty. And Marion. Sorry, I've been too busy paying attention to putting glue or dimensionals on. I wasn't paying attention to who was joining us. All right, one more. This bicycle is not going anywhere. There we go. All right. So it has you put this piece on first. And so I just kind of pay attention to, about how much space is showing there. That's usually where I put all my, I should put them on my desk. I'm going to do that. We were shopping at Target last night for more fans to try and keep it cool enough upstairs so we could sleep. And my husband saw this little vacuum. It's just, I haven't charged it or anything yet. And he's like, look at this. And I said, oh, I've always wanted one of those. He thought that was pretty funny. I was so excited about it. All right, but it'll be great for vacuuming up those dimensional backs. All right, now we need our sentiment. And this is why you just have the glue dots in the middle, because they're just going to stick to that. So let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. More things to vacuum up. Although sometimes they go all the way down in the shelves. All right, so just line that flat edge up. There we go. That might be a little low, but it'll be fine. And then we can put our bike on. Lots of dimensional backs on this one. Come on. Of course, I'll probably have to charge that before it'll actually run, won't I? Oh, well. Yeah, I didn't think that one came off. Now, when I was doing this, to make sure that I had all the backs off, because there were so many of them. Again, I don't think that one came. There we go. If you hold it up, then you can, it'll be shinier if they're off. So I usually just kind of hold it up at an angle and say, yep, I don't see any dull ones, so they're all off. Now this one, you want to line this yellow edge up to the edge of your card. And that bicycle seat will go into your sentiment a little bit, and the wheel is going to be in that darker area, just like that. And then this just goes on top of the basket that's already there. So this is the one that we stamped the flowers on. So you just put it right over that, which I love when they do that because it's really easy. You just line it up. And then we have our twine. So you're just going to tie that in a bow. And then you just kind of adjust it till it's about the size you want. And then a little bit bigger like that one. Put one of the glue dots on the bicycle, or on the basket, sorry, on the basket. So it just goes about there. And then what I did is I popped the back off, and then I just kind of took my Take Your Pick tool and just rolled it up a little bit so it wasn't quite so big. That way it won't be you know, showing out underneath of this bow as much. Hey, Nancy. All right, and then take your scissors and just trim those ends a little bit. Ooh, I wonder if that'll vacuum up. Okay. And then we need our butterflies. And I found with these that my tweezers were better with them to kind of make sure they got there's a hair stuck to the back of that one. So there's one there, and then one on the flowers, I think. Yep. Uh-oh. There we go. Card number 1. All right, those need to go somewhere so I don't lose them. Uh-oh. All right. There's our first card. Now we are ready for our second one. So let's turn our directions over. And if you didn't know, so it tells you how much twine to cut, and they give you a ruler on the edge of this. So if you don't have a ruler handy, you can just use the edge of the directions for that. All right, card number 2. Isn't that cute? Best wishes. So let's see what stamps we need for this one. There's our twine. Don't want to lose that. We're going to stamp on these 2 pieces. So we need best wishes. That one. And the small set of flowers, because we're going to stamp it 3 times. So this, you want the little silver things to go up. It's like it's fastened to the basket, I guess. All right, let's get some of this out of the way. So we'll get our ink back out. So best wishes. Hey, that was pretty good. All right, let's see if we can line these up. And I had to kind of look and see. I think it's this way. Well, you have to kind of look and see which way they're turned. So this first one looks like it's like this. And then the next one, no, like this, I think. And then the last one is back like that again. There we go. Those look fine. Okay. Now it's time for all of our adhesive again. So dimensionals, 2 on here. And then several on here. And then our bicycle gets a bunch again, but I think I'm going to tie the twine around it first and then put the dimensionals on. So this, you're going to thread one end through here. And since it's twine, that means that it's thin enough you can tie a knot first, which is what I usually do if I'm tying a bow with twine. And on one of them, I had to cheat and tape it on the back because I still didn't get it tight enough. That's pretty good, though, I think. All right. I'm just trying to get that to go up a little bit. All right, and I like to kind of make sure that there's going to be room for my tag between the edge of the bike and the bow. So then tie your bow. I should have tied it upside down. Let's do that. And this time it probably won't work, but often if you tie them upside down, then your loops are at the top and your legs are at the bottom. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. I can trim those off a little bit. All right, now let's put all of our dimensionals on here. Again, there are a lot. I don't know if we'll have any left over this time. Sometimes we have dimensionals left over. Looks like they've got it up a little bit higher. Whoops. Just from where the dimensionals are on the back. We'll scoot it up a little bit. All right, that'll be fine. And more below our twine. There. And then gotta put some on this side too. All right, I think that's it. Let's get our card base out. All right. So I think we can put our bicycle on first. So take off all the dimensional backs. It keeps wanting to fall down a little bit, doesn't it? There we go. All right. Whoops. There we go. And this is going to go in this corner, so that's got to go along the edge of the card and along the bottom, like that. And then your, whoops, leaves and flowers go on top of what's there. like that. And then your sentiment goes on the basket. Just don't get your, it can go under it a little bit. You just don't want to adhere it in there. There we go. And we need butterflies. And the last card doesn't have butterflies. So we are going to have 2 extra butterflies. All right, so one, goes up here. One goes here. Let go. And one here. There we go. There is card number 2. Okay. Then our last card whoops, is this one. Isn't that cute? So this one we stamp butterflies instead. Whoops. Let's turn over our directions. Get all of our pieces out. This one you want the dark to be on the bottom. So the other side doesn't have the dark. So you want to be sure you have the side that has the dark yellow at the bottom. And see if I can set them here without losing them. We need this and this and this. I'm going to leave that there for a moment. Okay, so we need thank you and the butterflies and the small thing of flowers that we used before. All right, let's get our ink back out here. Let's see, I think it's going to go that way. And it helps if you put it on something dark like this, then you can see the white outline better. Now, I'm not right over it, so no guarantees that mine will come out okay. Yeah, it's a little to the side, but that's okay. It will work. And then thank you goes on this. And they have the cut end on the left. Thank you. Now we have butterflies. Let's set those over there. All right, so we're going to put, and I tried to put them on one block just to see, and I might have been able to do it, but then it would have been hard to make sure I had it lined up, so I just put it on 2 blocks. I think they show you, I don't remember where I saw it. I guess they show you here that they put it on 1 block, but I decided to just do it on 2. So you're going to do 1 big butterfly up there, and then this set of 2 butterflies is going to go right here. Fun. All right, let's get this out of the way. All right, dimensionals. This guy gets like 9 dimensionals, I think. 3 rows of them. Excuse me. All right. And then our sentiment gets 2 dimensionals. And this guy, he's going to go that way. Nope, he's going to go. Nope. I don't know which way he's going to go. Let's see which way he fits better. That way? Nope. He's going to go down. Must be this way. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll fit it on there somehow. He's going to get 3 dimensionals. And this guy gets 3 dimensionals. And this gets 3 dimensionals. Whoops, back here. And this is going to get our glue dots. So 3 glue dots. And then we'll use 1 on the front too. All right. Yeah, so we put 1 glue dot on the front. And I think I actually did 2. Just to give me a little extra place to put the twine. Come over there. All right. Because you're going to take your twine and it's kind of like a fake bow. Get those out of the way. So you're going to loop it. Like you've got a bow there. Whoops. Come back here. And the good thing is if you're not happy with the size of your bow, or you end up with not enough end, you can pull it off and do it again. But I'm fine with that. I'll trim that end a little bit. Okay, and then this guy goes on top of that. Just a little bit showing at the bottom. All right. Set that aside. Let's get this put on, our card base. Hey, Debbie. She said she was working. I'm sorry. Yes. You can watch it here, and then I'll also put it on YouTube. Okay. So this is just a little bit smaller than your card base, so just line it up so it's even. And you can also check, because there's dark on both of these, so those lines should kind of line up. All right. Let's put this on. Go away. All right, and it looks to me like they have it actually lining up with the edge of the card, so it's going off of this a little bit. Like that. Let's trim this a little bit. Well, maybe it doesn't even need it. We'll leave it for now. Okay, then we're going to put this on. It's going to go right on top of that one. And then this is going to go on top of that. However we decide, I think I'm going to do it this way. That way you still see some green leaves. And then this will go on the back of the bike. It looks pretty precarious to me. I don't think you could actually bike with it that way. All right, there is card number 3. This does not want to pick up. All right, so let's look real quick at all the cards we made with the kit. Those are so fun. I love them. Who wouldn't want to get one of those bright and cheery cards? All right, so let me show you the bonus project. So this is what I came up with. And I had a class last Thursday, and I cut a bunch of strips of DSP, the wrong size. So I had a bunch of strips left over, and I thought, well, they have this Calypso Coral in them, or Petal Pink. I mean, it kind of went with this. So I decided to use some of those. Now, some of them are stripes. I just happened to pick up one that was the same pattern. And at first I had 3 different ones, but it was just too much. So we're going to stamp on all of these pieces. So there's a really cute, let me grab my Stampin' Pierce mat back. There's a really cute bicycle stamp, which we haven't used yet, so we'll use that. It seemed a shame not to use it. So with this, we have used every stamp in the stamp set. So just stamp that in the middle of your white. These were cut with the postage stamp. I think that's what they're called, postage stamp dies. And then I used both sets of butterflies. So I did a few big ones. Can make them go every which way. And then some of these little ones. Let's do one more here. And then the smaller flowers. Again, turn them. Uh-oh, I just stuck my knuckle in there. Whoops. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. Oh, we need our sentiment. And I used thank you. All right, here we go. Now we can put this away. And I did cut an angle on this end. Those are my gummy scissors. I've got gummy stuff on them now. All right, now we're ready to put it all together. So we'll start with our strips, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. So these are Calypso Coral, and this is Petal Pink. In the back of this is the Everyday Ordinary Life or something like that, designer series paper. It's really fun, and the back side of all of them is a black and white pattern, so it's really a lot of fun. And this one here. And then I put these guys down flat. But I needed something to separate them from the background, so that's why I put that strip of Calypso Coral in there. And it matches our ink. And our butterflies go up here. This guy I put on with dimensionals. Both of these I put on with dimensionals. Let's see if we have enough left over. You can use the big ones. I'm just using these because they were handy. They were right here. Now, when you use all these up, I know I say this every time, but don't throw it away. You can cut this apart and use it. They work just as well. All right, more dimensional backs. Should have counted how many dimensionals we used tonight. We used a bunch. All right, and then this goes in the middle, and it'll kind of overlap those a little bit. And then this goes down at the bottom. And I kind of lined it up with that Calypso coral, I think. Now, you have, well, I guess you only have 2 butterflies left over. You are welcome to use those. I don't include embellishments with these. It's just too hard. But what I used was the pearlized faceted circles. And this one only has these light colored ones, but we can use one of those. I need to make a card where I just use a bunch of those. And then we'll use some off of this one. Okay. Now I like to use my putty end for these things. Push that back on there. All right, so we'll do one big, I think I'm going to put it there. And then we'll do the sky. And then a little light one there. All right. And that is it. Now, just as a reminder, somebody will get this already made card. So I usually just mix up all the cards and then I start addressing them. And so I never know who's going to get this one. But somebody will get this. And then everyone else will get, that's either on my team or a customer of mine that gets Paper Pumpkin, will get the kit to make this. So the only thing you'll need to provide is the embellishments and however you want to adhere the rest of that down. All right, so let's look one more time at everything that we made. Here are the others. That's it. Thank you, Betty. I'm glad you liked the bonus. It was kind of fun. Something a little different. All right, that is it for today. I will be back Thursday for a Facebook Live. I can't remember if this is the card I've shared already, but we're going to be using this Natural Artistry, this stamp set. So we will be using that Thursday in my Facebook Live, and that will be at 3 o'clock here. Wait, no, it won't be. It's at 11. Sorry, I had to change it to 11 because I have a retirement party to go to at 3. So I think I switched it to 11. It'll show up on the post on Thursday, you'll see, but I think it's going to be 11. So I will see you Thursday morning for Facebook Live. All right, thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.